Reikland, the current capital state of the Empire. Located in the southwestern part of the Empire. It is the richest, most cosmopolitan state in all the Empire. It is not self-proclaimed like Stirlanders claiming Stirland is the best state of the Empire, but is based on truth and facts. Reikland is blessed with fertile farmlands, vineyards and dairy fields, all of which produce a surplus for export. Its soil is so rich that it also supports the production of high-quality pottery. The mines of the Grey Mountains yield valuable ores ranging from iron to gold, whilst the Reikland forest, generally considered safer than forest lands in other parts of the Empire, yields valuable timber that supports a thriving boat-building industry. It also borders Norn, Marienburg, Bretonnia, and the dwarf holds of the Grey Mountains, wealthy regions that contribute to Reikland's thriving markets. And most importantly, Marienburg is independent. While Reikland's GDP is lower than Marienburg's, Marienburg no longer belongs to the Empire, making Reikland the richest state of the Empire. If Marienburg has a problem with that, they can either rejoin or deal with it. Reikland is the safest state of the Empire because it is the most populated and has many towns. And inside those towns,
make all man things worship the horned rat, starting from this city. Perfect place for our first hideout. Yes. We are the cult of the Yellow Fang. Fuck up. We're so impressed with the services of this tavern. Yes. Here's your tip and I'll leave a 5-star review. Yes. 5 out of 5. Others Skaven. Recommend visit, but not me.
The Red Moon Inn of Ubersreich. Rumors say its innkeeper Franz Lohner was once a veteran mercenary in the infamous company known as the Grudgebringers. Not only that, but for some reason his inn always seems to be full of unusually talented vermin killers. His inn always has perfect 5/5 ratings, so it's no surprise that many Skaven come to visit. Rumors say that the reviews are done by a rival clan, but nobody knows the truth. Not only the Red Moon Inn, but almost every tavern and inn of Reikland is owned by retired dogs of war mercenaries, so you do well to remember that before you visit. But even with all the large towns and cities in Reikland, none can match the great city built in ancient times, once known as Reikdorf in Sigmar's times. Altdorf, the current capital of the Empire. The city is not only vast, but also home to numerous important facilities. University of Altdorf, Imperial Engineer School founded by the Chilean genius Leonardo da Miragliano, campuses of colleges of magic scattered all through the city, Imperial Zoo, marketplace selling everything of the Empire and from every foreign continent, Imperial Palace next to the Great Temple of Sigmar, and many more. But before we look at some of the city's facilities, let's take a closer look at its people. Reiklanders are the primary inhabitants of the city, but Altdorf also welcomes foreign immigrants. Foreign humans from Tilea, Bretonnia.
The peasants are fleeing to the Empire for taxes they can actually afford!
Kislev, but the most are Arabians who sell kebab. Altdorf has more kebab stores than all of Araby for some reason, and you can see kebab stores in every street and alley. But also elves, dwarfs who have lived there since the very beginning of the Empire, but the dwarfs who are anti-large think they aren't dwarfs anymore. And ogres. Immigration is allowed for everyone from nations that have ambassadors in Altdorf. They are free to follow any religion, but they must wear an imperial hat for at least half of the year and pay a certain amount of gold. Immigrants become a valuable source of labor for the Empire.
Or I will send you back to Bretonnia!
Most Reiklanders are open-minded and welcome them, except the Middenlanders. Because not only are they political rivals, but they also always make Altdorf noisy.
Todbringer is the true Emperor! What? I thought this was a free country!
The Middenlanders don't care but call the Reiklanders damn liberals and think Reiklanders are arrogant fools anyway. But Middenlanders aren't the only ones who think Reiklanders are arrogant. In fact, Reiklanders themselves believe they are superior and cultured, because Altdorf is a city rich in art and culture, Reikland has great cultural institutions, such as the Grand Museum, art galleries, and the renowned newspaper and book publisher, the Altdorf Spieler. Almost every citizen of the Empire subscribes to it. It's not only a major source of news, but also a book publisher. Its recent hit is a chronicle about a goblin who eventually becomes the boss of the Eight Peaks, though no one believes it's a true story. But not every part of Altdorf is cultural and sophisticated. In fact, there are gangs operating in the Altdorf harbor, large, though still smaller than the one in Marienburg. Two major gangs occupy the harbor, the Fish and the Hook. But the scariest is the Dwarf gang. Their numbers are small, their presence nearly invisible, that's why they're scary. If anyone says the S word in the harbor, the Dwarf gang eliminates them immediately without any notice. The most recent major crime was pirates stole the Grand Theogonist's ship, the Helden Hammer.
Forgive his sins, love your neighbor as yourself.
And my address is 00120 Altdorf City.
And only the ones near that street are my neighbors!
Confess!
The Grand Theogonist is eagerly seeking for a certain pirate. Altdorf is a large city, so to protect it from crime, witch hunter stations are everywhere, and the Reichsguard help maintain order and security.
What should we do when the civilian resists? Aim for the head! Damn right!
They're trained in the Reichsguard castle by Reichsmarshal Kurt Helborg. These knights serve as the private army of the Elector Count of Reikland, who currently holds the imperial throne as Emperor Karl Franz. In the Imperial Palace, the Council makes laws, decides national matters, and summons the Elector Counts for discussion.
Summon the Elector.
About who was involved in the election. You little hammer bastard. These people cannot rule over us, cannot control us, and should not exist!
I will separate Nuln from Wissenland. Free! Nuln! Free!
And aid and return Marienburg to Nordland. As a Duke of Marienburg, Lord of Lorelorn. No. I demand you to come.
Follow nation!
Kislev!
Now hold on!
Take him to Steerland.
On the second thought, let's not summon the Elector Counts.
Unless it is truly urgent, the Emperor never summons the Elector Counts. Ruling a nation is stressful, especially when the people protest against taxes. Little did the Reiklanders know. The Emperor gained the plus undine 99 charge bonus against protesters trait during the Middenlander protest.
Summon the Reichsguard! Reichsguard Knights! Ready for war! Reichsguard! Send us out! Reichsguard! The cops ready for the Emperor! I thought this was a free country! Shit! Holy Sigma! Holy Sigma! The protester is occupying the streets! Batons ready! Respect our authority!
The troll slayer Gotrek, who was just chilling and heading to the tavern, was about to ignore the beaten protester. But when he found out the man was a writer and might be useful, he decided to save his life. He healed the protester by injecting ale, making him drunk and knocking him out cold. That man, Felix, swore to become Gotrek's blood brother and rememberer, vowing to write his chronicles. But the cowardly poet had no idea what awaited him next.
Nothing happened. We all go.
Later, when the poet published the first part of the chronicle, the section about Altdorf Square was somehow nothing happened. Now come, follow me. Enter and experience the old world with the Old World Geographic. Like and subscribe for more Old World Geographic.